North Dakota lawmakers voted in committee today to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. Reporter Maddie Biertempel has more on the legislation and whether North Dakota could be creeping closer to outright legislation.
Some state legislators want to decriminalize marijuana.
We don't want to create criminal records that are going to affect people into the future.
Representative Shannon Roars-Jones's bill passed in committee by a vote of 8-4. It makes possessing up to an ounce of marijuana a civil instead of criminal offense, which carries a lesser fine of $50 instead of the current infraction fine of up to $1,000.
This is a good option that will provide us at least an initial step in the event that the legalization measure does not pass.
Roars-Jones referenced another bill under consideration this session, 1420, that would legalize marijuana, which differs from the decriminalization this bill provides. There's also another piece of legislation that would put the legalization question up to voters in 2022 and then regulate the drug.
The object is not to make it where there's no regulation whatsoever, but the idea is to say that this is a legal substance, but not that this is an unregulated legal substance.
The committee shot down that resolution, which would have amended the Constitution by a vote of 10-2. The National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, or NORML, weighed in on both bills.
Decriminalization would allow, police and the courts to focus their resources on, combating serious crime instead of, otherwise law-abiding citizens.
State Policies Coordinator Carly Wolf says even if the bill doesn't pass, there are other ways for the state to support legalization.
If lawmakers fail to act on these issues, then I think voters will definitely take it into their own hands, as we've seen in previous years with statewide ballot measures.
There are currently 9 bills under consideration in the legislature related to marijuana, medical or otherwise. Reporting in Bismarck for KX News, Maddie Biertempel.
So far, 15 states plus D.C. have legalized recreational marijuana.
And now to our COVID-19.